Hello and welcome to this sustainability short on biodiversity. Biodiversity is all the different kinds of life you'll find in one area, the variety of animals, plants, fungi, and even microorganisms like bacteria that make up our natural world. Each of these species and organisms work together in ecosystems like an intricate web to maintain balance and support life. In the built environment, we have a massive opportunity to deliver biodiversity benefits on our projects. We're working in the natural environment, and this means that the decisions we make have impacts on the habitats around us. The most important thing to remember is that best time to influence a project is at the start, during or even before design. By considering biodiversity at the outset, you can integrate considerations for enhancing biodiversity into project delivery. A best practice approach to biodiversity in construction commonly involves delivering no net loss. A no net loss approach involves taking actions to balance the loss of biodiversity with positive actions to avoid, minimize, restore, and offset these negative impacts. These actions come together to form the biodiversity mitigation hierarchy, which prioritizes how you manage impacts to biodiversity. The hierarchy prioritizes biodiversity impacts in the following way. Firstly, avoid any impacts in the first place. Then, minimize impacts to biodiversity as much as possible. If this is not possible, then any damage to habitat should be restored or rehabilitated. And, as a last resort, destroyed habitat should be offset through the creation of new habitat. Let's explore the hierarchy. If impacts to biodiversity have been identified, then you might be asked to put in place specific measures to avoid or minimize these impacts to biodiversity. Often, these measures are described in permits that have been issued as conditions or in guidebooks available from local or state regulatory agencies. For example, putting in place exclusion zones around trees or sensitive areas to prevent damage. Undertake works outside of key times, such as nesting and hibernation, to minimize disturbance. Restore grassland areas that would have been mowed with a no-mow pollinator-friendly mixture of native species. Plant dry stormwater basins with pollinator-friendly mixture of native grasses and maintain them at appropriate intervals to enhance their establishment and growth. Use plants native to the local area and plant multiple species to increase diversity. Construction of mitigation measures to compensate for the habitat loss. For example, if you are working on a project which requires the removal of a wetland area, create an equivalent wetland habitat to mitigate the loss elsewhere on site. That concludes this introductory sustainability short on biodiversity. We hope you have found this video interesting and useful. For more detailed information on biodiversity, please take a look at the additional nature-related resources on the Supply Chain Sustainability School.